Praise Yahweh Shemir Shabbat Makakadash. Honest minute, truthful down, relate truth and knowledge. We know it is truth and knowledge. We know it is truth and knowledge. And all Yahweh Shemir Shabbat Makakadash. Give all praise Yahweh Shemir Shabbat Makakadash. This relates to quick news. You're seeing more intensification relating to these nations. I'll give you some reports related to that. To Russia's Putin is angry at Russia. Russia's angry with U.S. related to ultimatum. Also, Iran is threatened relating to nuclear against U.S. So you see in the nations, Scripture talks about hearing of wars, rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for the end is not by and by yet. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. So you see in the nations and the kingdoms versus each other, man. You see in the tensions between these nations, whether it's Iran with U.S., China with U.S., Russia with U.S., so forth, vice versa, so forth. So you're seeing the intensifications stirring up, man. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden what? Destruction. You know what I mean? So Scripture talks about, again, for you shall hear wars and rumors of wars, see ye be not troubled, for the end is not by and by yet. So the end is not by and by yet. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, there shall be pestilence and earthquakes in different places. And you see earthquakes all over the world on a day-to-day basis. For we in the times of sorrows. Sorrows goes to lamenting and mourning. It's not exactly spiritually, politically correct to talk relating to this. Most people probably don't like this, but it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a stern warning to NATO. You have NATO. You also have U.S. with NATO helping Ukraine. You have in other countries even assisting with Ukraine, such as Philippines. So you're seeing that you're seeing things starting to brew up as far as these nations. Russian Vladimir Putin has issued a stern warning to NATO, threatening retaliation as tensions escalate in Ukraine conflict, with new war rules and shifting red lines. Moscow signals is ready to respond to any perceived threat. So any perceived threat or looks of threats, they ready to respond, you know what I mean, if necessary. Now, you know, like I said, you know, they always saying stern warnings relating to different things, but, you know, these relates to that. Is a direct Russian-NATO clash now a real possibility? And that goes to what? The war, man. You know what I mean? So, according to scriptures, certain things are going to happen. Ezekiel 38, Revelations 11 and 14, Revelations 9 and 12. You know what I mean? Revelation 17 and 16 talks about they shall hate the whore, leave her naked and desolate, and burn her with fuel of fire. That's Revelation 17 and 16. So, you know, that goes to these allied nations. The beast was revised under new management of America. The EU and NATO are part of what she rides, man. She's the spearhead. She leads relating to that. That goes with NATO and EU, man, which is the European Union. America's under the new revised Rome, or continuation of the new Rome, man. You know what I mean? Which is under new management or new management of America, man. America represents that. You know what I mean? So now Daniel's 2 talk about Daniel's 2 chapter talks about, we'll get that real quick. Daniel's 2. Daniel's 2 chapter, I want to get around 39 to 41, I believe. And after there shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth shall be as strong as iron. That's Rome. And for as the iron breaketh in pieces, and subdue all things. Remember, the fourth is more stronger and superior to the previous three. And all things in iron that breaketh, all these shall break in pieces and bruise. That's 40. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay, part iron of the kingdom shall be divided. And that goes to NATO and these other countries. You know what I mean? Why they're divided? You know what I mean? They're not evenly strength, meaning that some are stronger and weaker than others, man. And the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay. So this vulnerability is weakness and part of that, man. And that's why they don't mesh. That's why they don't cleave together, man. And the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. So that clay is partly broken. You break clay, it breaks, man. So it's vulnerability. So part of those nations is part clay, and you have something that's iron, it's solid, man. So it's vulnerability. That's why they don't cleave, they don't mesh together. In the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. Go to Sirach 10. It shall be a kingdom that's let me see if I get it. I believe 10 and 4. Which shall never be destroyed. And that's the next one. For Esau's the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning that followed. Jacob, that's the next kingdom that shall never be destroyed, man. And the kingdom shall be left to and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. These kingdoms, this one and previous ones, were left to other ones, because Scripture talks about the wicked. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. So the wicked are in a position of power. The wicked are bearer of rule. That's why the people are mourning, man. That's why you're seeing protests. You had a protest yesterday in Tampa area somewhere, near downtown. A few people, not a whole lot. So you're seeing protests. You're seeing people pretty much talking about, for example, that particular one relating to Social Security and different things. They said Trump needs to be, they were saying Trump needs to be out of office. Get Trump out of office. So you seeing the division relating to the people, man. You know what I mean? And they probably is the same ones that actually voted for him, some of them. You know what I mean? Just point that out. You know what I mean? So, but the point is, that goes to relating to policies. Some don't like relating to policies and different things. That's why you seeing the protests and different things, man. You know what I mean? You seeing people getting fired. You know what I mean? State Department of Education, different venues. So people are not happy now, man. You know what I mean? Let's go back to 40 and read 44 again. In the days these kings shall the God of heaven set up in the kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, in which the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and ultimately the next kingdom is going to consume all these things, all these kingdoms, especially this one, the revised Rome. Revised is pretty much change. Change is under what? New management. It's really just a continuation of ancient ways of Rome, but under new management. You have will consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. That's the point. Sirach 10 real quick. Sirach 10 and 4, or Ecclesiasticus. And the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord. So the power ultimately is in the hands of the Lord. You know what I mean? He controls everything. He sets one up, he sets one down. That's in the Psalms, I believe 75 or 78 chapter. So the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord. In due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And that's the next one. And that will be passed down to his son, where he's going to have dominion. You know what I mean? That's the next one, man. All right, let's continue with more news. So Putin's angry, man, and Trump's just angry too at Putin. So these nations are beginning to stir up against each other, man. Also, you have Trump signs a crypto regulation bill at the White House, man. So the dollar could possibly, allegedly, go digital, man. I've seen that report. President Trump signs a crypto regulation bill at the White House. You have here we go. President Trump signs first major federal cryptocurrency bill into law, making it making it easier for banks to issue stable coins. President Trump has signed the first major federal law governing cryptocurrency. The bill is a key priority for the president, outlines regulations aimed at making a specific kind of digital currency called stablecoins more accessible and mainstream. So that's a major next step. You had the Trump administration relating to after-school funding. I believe pressure from the judges as well. Congress appropriated $1.329 billion for programs this fiscal year, so that has to be used. Talking about that. So this is just more news, quick. I hope it helps relating to information. You have at least 3 deleted in apparent blast, a law enforcement training facility in Los Angeles. It's quick news. You had a passenger try to open an exit door while the plane is taking off from Light to SkyWest flight. I was in Cedars Rapids, Michigan, so you seeing people do all kinds of crazy things, man. Knowing this in the last days, it should be perilous times. Scripture talks about perilous goes to bad, evil, and troublesome times, man. We in troublesome times, man. Scripture talks about iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So you're seeing iniquity increase, and you're seeing people waxing cold is relating to respecting one another and different things. Having respect, showing respect. I wouldn't say love in the matter of speaking, but being respectful, cordial. Towards one another. So you're seeing a spirit of division being set forth, man. We always go into that. Let me see. Look up something real quick. So you're seeing the lack of cordialness among the people. You know what I mean? Cordial means pretty much warm, friendly, affable, pleasant, affectionate, warm-hearted, good nature. You're not seeing that. You know what I mean? You're seeing the opposite of that. So a spirit is sending a spirit of division, strife, contention is being set forth, man. And you're seeing it in the midst, internationally, all over the world, man. You know what I mean? A welcome, sincere, earnest, wholehearted, hearty, enthusiastic, eager. Opposite of that is what? Cordial is unfriendly, man. So that's what you're seeing, an unfriendly spirit put on the earth, man. The Lord said, think not I'll come to send peace, but division. That division, part of that division is strife, contention, man. So that's what you're seeing. You know what I mean? Especially abroad and even here, man. That being said, I hope this helps relate to information. Zaya Warshawa.